Actually, we are supposed to talk about male and female energy, but if you want to talk about health or something, then we can cut it down a little, because somebody was asking me about some of those problems. So we can then talk. You all have questions on whatever health problems, and we can talk about that. This is a very difficult topic: male energy and female energy. First of all, for us to accept that just because we have a body of a female or male, we are not male or female. So that very acceptance is very difficult, because we are grounded, we are so attached to the body that it's very difficult to go a little beyond and say that even though I have a female body or I have a male body, I am exactly 50% male and 50%. Any spiritual search is the search for the whole. Totality, Purnata. And that means that the inner male or the inner female must marry the outer male or outer female. So we will not talk about male and female as in gender of sex. We will talk of male and female as in energy. What is male energy? What is female energy? And both these energies are in all of us. The male learns to become the female. The female learns to become the male. So then each other's secrets are shared. Now, what is basic sex energy? What is basic sex energy? It is the energy of attraction and repulsion. I go to a store, I go to a fashion store, I see some shirts or I see some pants and I am attracted. This attraction is because of the basic polarity in life, male and female. But I say these shirts have attracted me. I don't say that deep down within me there is an attraction for the female. There is a movement of this energy, and these shirts are just an excuse for the expression of that. It's a little difficult. Or supposing we were to go to a shop and we see that these saris are very good, and so I like these saris. But when we see that, we say that I like these saris, but we don't see that there is an attraction to the opposite. That is why we like these saris. So this is the basic play of life, the law of attraction and repulsion. And it happens so fast, so automatically, that in our whole lives we don't realize that this is the greatest slavery we have, the greatest bandhan we have, is that we are a victim of the law of attraction and repulsion. From attraction and repulsion comes like and dislike. Now, attraction and repulsion is working at very, very fast speeds. I go, I see the saris in the shop. Before I know it, I have already been attracted. It is happening so fast. There is no control. I cannot say I don't want to be attracted. There is an automatic attraction. So this happens in the basic polarity of life, what we call as the sex center. I am attracted. Immediately the emotions come in, and the emotions will say I like it or I dislike it. And then the intellect will come in, I want it or I don't want it. This is how everything moves in life. Fastest is attraction and repulsion, which is moving very, very fast. Next is like and dislike, which is moving at a little slower speed, but that is also very fast. And third is I want or I don't. If we can observe the working of these three stages of whatever is happening in life, I come here, I see all of you together, there is an automatic either attraction or repulsion. And immediately the heart says, I like or I dislike. Then the intellect will say that, okay, you dislike or you like, but you have to talk. You have to talk. So I overcome the dislike or I overcome the like. One of them. But what about attraction and repulsion? It is too far. It is too far. I cannot overcome that. That happens too automatically. So we can only work on our likes and dislikes. And this is a long journey to work on likes and dislikes. Now, when we get married, we feel we are getting married to somebody outside. I say I've fallen in love with this girl, I'm getting married to this girl. So I say she's out of me, she's somebody different from me, she's a female, I am a male. But that is not true. That is only what appears to be true. It is only the fact, it is not the reality. And we have to move from the fact to the reality. And the reality is that I have a male body, so I have been attracted to a female body, but deep down within me there is a female psyche. There is a female psyche. And when I marry somebody, I am not marrying anybody else, I am only marrying myself. And marriage is this journey. Marriage is this journey where I initially marry somebody outside, but everything that she is a projection of my inner female. My inner female. And the real marriage will happen when I marry that inner female. Am I coming across? So then I have to divide life into two parts, the male part and the female part. And I must learn to dance in both the parts. So we will see that what are the characteristics of female energy, not female as a person, but just as energy. So the first characteristic will be softness, receptivity, surrender, one-pointed attention. What are the characteristics of male energy? So the basic characteristic of male energy is aggressiveness. Now, any movement on the spiritual path, any movement within, the first obstacle is aggressiveness, agra. જ્યાં સુધી આગ્રહ છે જીવનની અંદર કોઈ પણ વસ્તુનો આગ્રહ, ઇવન સત્યનો, ત્યાં સુધી અહમ છે. આગ્રહ, aggressiveness is the language of the ego. It is the language of the male energy. And this has to be overcome. So every husband, every male has to learn to dissolve this whole attitude of aggressiveness with which we are born with. Otherwise nothing can happen on the spiritual path. Nothing can happen. We cannot walk an inch as long as we are holding aggressiveness inside. Aggressiveness is the cause of all evils in the world. And it's very, very difficult. Because we are aggressive about so many things. I am better than you, I am aggressive. The male is better than female, I am aggressive. My religion is better than your religion, I am aggressive. So, this expression of aggressiveness, how to dissolve it? In the Mahabharata, we have one warrior, one character who is an expression, epitome of aggressiveness. And he is called Bhishma, the epitome of aggressiveness. So beautiful sometimes when we study the Mahabharata, so many things. Bhishma was the 8th son of Shantanu and Ganga. Krishna was the 8th son of Devaki and Vasudeva. Both were 8. It's figure 8. It's figure 8. Some symbolism of figure 8. Now, the word bhi means to frighten. So we have two characters in the Mahabharata, Bhishma and Bhima, both have the same word, Bhim and Bhishma. The word Bhi also means to frighten in Bhim, but there is an added word, Ma, Bhima. Ma is the sound of the throat center. So wherever there is Ma, there is balance. The aggressiveness has been balanced. I want to frighten you, there is aggressiveness in me. Be aggressiveness, right? I want to frighten you. But that initial urge comes in me, I want to frighten you, I want to show you, I want to put you in your place, I want to show that I am better than you. So that Bhi comes up and I balance it from my throat center. That is why the sound Ma is a human sound, it is not an animal sound. And the sound Ma is the most used sound in all sadhana. Wherever we are, wherever there is aggressiveness, So Bhima is that character who has balanced his aggressiveness. He has transformed the inner aggressiveness. When aggressiveness is transformed, however strong he is, however powerful he is of body, a certain gentleness comes in. And without gentleness, we cannot enjoy the beauty of life. An aggressive person cannot enjoy life. A person with too much willpower cannot enjoy life. I want to do this, I want to create this, I want to create factories, I want to become the president, God knows what. Such a person can never enjoy life. And the enjoyment of life is moment to moment, every moment. So, Bhishma and Bhima. So, Bhima transformed his energies. Yesterday I was writing an article on the meeting of Bhima and Hanuman. So it starts with, they've come to a place called Badri Kashmir. Badri means steady, the inner steadiness. Right? The inner steadiness. So they've come to this place called Badri Kashmir. And Badri also means boar, the boar tree. And one morning, the wind is blowing from the northeast corner, Ishan, from the northeast. And Ishan is the divine corner in our homes, within ourselves also. Right? So this is north and this is east. Sorry, this is east. So this is the northeast corner, where the inner God, the inner spirit is sitting in that northeast corner. And that is why it is called Ishan. Ishan means to rule. He is ruling everything from there. So, and this beautiful lotus flower comes in with the wind. And it's got a divine fragrance and it's got 1,000 petals. Vyas is talking about the Sahasrara. In this Ishan, when the wind blows from the Ishan, the Sahasrara chakra. He's talking about the Sahasrara. And it's got a divine fragrance. And Draupadi sees this and she tells Bhima, you please bring me many more flowers like this. And this gentleness in Bhima. There is no argument. I mean, he could have said, okay, I have got no time now, or I don't want to do it. But there's no argument. He has transformed this energy of aggressiveness to the energy of surrender. And he goes to bring the flower. So, this inner aggressiveness, which we are all born with, if we can transform it from inside, then we become a great warrior. That is the warrior theme. But if that inner aggressiveness goes into the mind and becomes a function, a mental function, an inner mental, then it becomes Bhishma. What is Bhishma? Let us see inside. Am I coming across now? You understand? So this energy of aggressiveness, when it becomes a function of the mind, it is called Bhishma. And Bhishma took a pratigya. He took an oath that I will defend the throne of Hastinapur. And on the throne of Hastinapur, whoever is sitting, I will see my father in him. And he was not willing to break this pratigya. Now this is very, very important of what is happening inside of us. When the inner spirit wants to be born, the spirit wants to experience, so it creates something to experience. It creates an entity which takes experience and gives it to the spirit. This entity which the spirit creates to experience is called the soul. The gene, the soul. And it is this soul which takes on bodies and experiences. But when a child is about 3 years old, till he's 3, the soul is experiencing. I drink the water, the soul experiences it, whether the water is cold or whether it is nice or good or whatever. I see you, the soul experiencing it. But when the child is about 3 years old, something else forms in the child, and that is called the ego. And the ego then does not allow the soul to experience anything. The ego eats up all the experiences of life, from 3 years to death. From 3 years to death. So really a person does not grow after 3 years. Everything which is grown after 3 years is nothing but an extension of the ego. Because the soul does not grow. And the poor soul has come, it has taken a body to experience life. It takes those experiences, it wants to pass it on to the inner Atma, but it cannot do it because it is frightened. It is frightened into sleep. And this is the beginning of the ego. The ego frightens the soul to sleep. And this ego is Bhishma. And this ego has Ichha Mrityu. He can die only if he wants to die. So, till this ego decides that okay, enough is enough, I have had enough of money, I have had enough of whatever excitement in life, I have had enough of everything, and now there is nothing more, now I want to dissolve myself. I want to, till that ego decides, there can be no spiritual journey. Because if there is any spiritual journey, the ego will eat up those experiences also. Right? I go to the temple and I go every Sunday to the church. Right? And these are all experiences which the ego is eating up. Nothing reaches the soul. All our spirituality is all in the wrong direction. It is not going to the right person. And it is this Bhishma which has to be killed. He has to be killed. And he has to be put in such a state that he decides that now I will go, I die. And for that, thousands of arrows have to be shot into him. And for shooting the arrow has to be shot by a male, but it has to be shot through the female energy, and that is Shikhandi. And this is the secret of life. To shoot the arrow with the hands of a male, but with the attitude of a female, with the posture of a female. And if we can learn this, then the inner woman and the inner man will marry, and we will reach the Shikha, which is called Shikhandi, the topmost point, the epitome of human consciousness. And this has to be moment to moment in our married life, because that inner woman or that inner man has now come out. He or she has taken a form, our wife or husband, and now from that we are learning. And we keep on throwing those arrows at the inner ego, one after the other, and maybe after 20 years of marriage, one day the inner Bhishma will be sleeping on a bed of arrows. And now that is a successful marriage. That is why we get married. So the male becomes female, the female becomes male. The female knows the secret of death. The male knows the secret of birth. The male wants to give birth to the female, but something has to die to give birth. In one sperm cell which reaches the female ovum, millions of sperm cells die. So, the energies of sex and the energies of death always move together. For a new child to be born, millions have to sacrifice their lives at a lower dimension for something to be born at a higher dimension. Now, can we use these energies moment to moment in our lives, every instance of our lives? So the male aspect, we will say small things, right? Supposing you go now to eat your lunch and you see that salt is not there in the food. So what will we do? What will we do? We will say she prepared the food uselessly. Right? So, which energy is rising within us? The male energy, the aggressive energy. Now we want to get married. This very moment we want to get married. Every moment we are getting married. So what do we do? What do we do? We pause. We pause that this energy is being expressed. What is the opposite energy? The opposite energy is female energy. And the female energy is the energy of surrender. So we say, if there is no salt, I accept it, I'll just go and put in a little salt. Both the energies will meet, there will be a marriage, there will be an inner explosion, an inner organism. We will grow. And one more arrow we have shot into Bhishma. Supposing we are sitting with our son, and our son talks to us in a very untoward way. So we are feeling hurt. Okay, he is young, he has no respect for me. He has no respect for me. And this person who is demanding respect from inside, is he the male or female? The male. The male. Demanding respect. You must respect me. My Guru always used to say, let your life speak for itself. Don't ask for anything. But we keep on asking. If I come in this room, before I've come in, my male ego has already asked that when I go in, they have kept a chair for me. You're always asking, demanding inside. So immediately the sun is saying you're feeling hurt inside, the ego has felt hurt. Immediately bring up the female energy, surrender, bring both into marriage. You will grow. You will grow. Every moment is nothing but a dance of these two energies, the male energy and the female energy. She comes to meet me, she is very angry at me. So it's a female lady who's, I'm a male. Right? She has come, she is very angry and she say, I'll show you this and right? And she's very angry. So I say, which energy has come to meet me? The male energy has come to meet me and I want to get married. So I become the female energy and all her anger and everything, it just becomes another cosmic orgasm. Meeting of the male and female. Every moment in life. Just a meeting of these two energies. Can we do it? Can we do it?
We can try.
We can try. Now, how will we recognize? How will we recognize that a male has come to meet me or a female, not the body? How will we recognize? How will you recognize? So don't mind, no? You don't mind? So, you don't mind? Okay, he said we can try. This is not about you. But he said we can try. Now the tone of the voice. Was it male or female? Very much. If it was female, it would go, okay, it's possible, we could give it a try. So, when the other person speaks, the first thing he says is the tone. Now, the tone will be either male or female or positive and negative. We'll go into that a little later. Positive or negative. So, we sense the other person who has come to meet us. And his tone tells us whether it is male or female. And immediately we become the opposite end of the pole. And there is great joy. Even if he's very angry, even if he's insulting us, even if he's calling us all kinds of names, even if he's taking away all our money, just that meeting gives great joy. This is the real art of living, not that art of living. The real art. How to become male, how to become female. Just think of Krishna. If in Bhishma's place Krishna was there, would he have broken the vow or not broken the vow? Huh? He would have broken it. He says, at that time I gave the promise when my father was living. Now, life is saying something totally different. That promise has no meaning now. So I'm breaking it. I'm getting married, and so there will be children and they look after this kingdom of Hastinapur. But Bhishma did not break the vow because it was only male energy. There was no experience of female energy. If it was Krishna, then he had the inner marriage had happened of Radha and Krishna. He leaves Vrindavan, he doesn't come back, the marriage has happened. So, he never comes back. Once he goes, that's it. The inner marriage has happened. So, that marriage is every moment of our lives. Every moment of our lives. Now, how will the male become female and how will the female become male? How will we do it? How will How will we do it? What will we do? Supposing I've got married. Now I know that my wife is female energy and I am male energy, and I want to learn to become the female. How will I do it? I will start by observing her and try to imbibe some of those qualities. And the first thing what I'll observe is in the difference of quality of attention. A female attention is very grounded, very down to earth. It is only in so much. A male attention is fragmented. It goes here, it goes there, it goes everywhere. Osho used to tell one joke. He used to tell Mullah Nasruddin jokes to us. Somebody asked Mullah, how's your marriage? So he's saying it's going very well. So, who decides what? So he's saying everything we decide 50-50. So this is what 50? She decides what kind of home we have, what kind of car to buy, which school the children should go to, how to decorate the home inside, what to do with my salary, everything she decides. Mullah, what do you decide? If she decides all this, I decide who will be the president of the country, whether there are environmental issues or not. So, this is the quality of male and female attention. And attention has two qualities. It has the quality of one-pointedness and it has the quality of diffusion. But male attention is fragmented. It's somewhere here, somewhere there. Even we may get married today, but the male tomorrow is walking on the road and he sees another beautiful girl. He won't bother that he's got married yesterday. His eyes will go like this. So, that is male attention, the quality of male attention. Now, this attention is, in the Gita it's told in 2 slokas. I won't go into the slokas, but Arjun tells Krishna that please take my chariot in between the 2 armies. And then in 2 slokas he says, so that I can see all these warriors together and I can see them one by one. So one pointed and diffusion of attention where we can see everyone together. This diffusion is a male quality, one pointedness is a female quality. These are 2 ends of attention, and attention is our most precious commodity. We don't know how precious attention is. Everything for us in life is precious except our attention. Every school teaches children so many things. No school teaches how to use attention. What is attention? What is attention? What is attention? What is it? Who can tell me? What is attention? My teacher has written a small book, Education for Attention. What is attention? Is attention the soul? Is attention the spirit, the Atma? I see you. How do I see you? My eyes pay attention. Where does that attention come from? What is the source of that attention? Not from the mind. The mind either diffuses it or focuses it. It doesn't come from the mind. The mind holds sanskars, and sanskars automatically send that attention somewhere. I have a sanskar, say, for reading good books. So if I'm walking on the road, the sanskar will take my attention and throw it to shops or bookshops. But you have a sanskar for good saris. So we are walking together on the road, but your attention will go to a shop with saris. The same road. So that is called sanskar. That is lying in the mind. The memory patterns, they are lying in the mind. But Attention is something different. It comes through the mind, but it is much beyond the mind. Where does attention come from? What is attention? The light which fills our life. When we are dead, the dead body does not have attention. Attention has gone away. What is this attention? It is that which allows observation. It is that light which allows observation. This is physical light. The light, this is physical light. But attention is spiritual light. Attention is spiritual light. It comes from the Atma, the ray of the Atma, coming through the mind, coming out of the senses, allows me to experience and live life. Attention. And we waste our attention. It's totally wasted. The attention goes out into something, does it come back? It does not come back. It goes out into a car, it remains stuck with that car. If anything happens to that car, I start burning inside. Maro jeev bade. કારણ કે મારું ધ્યાન ક્યાં છે? ગાડીની અંદર, in the car. In my bank balance. So that light of the Atma given to me as attention, my bank balance, I have wasted it. Some has gone in the car, some has gone in my bank balance, some in my home, some in this, some in that. All wasted. Then, these are physical things. Then in relationships, my wife, she must listen to me. If she doesn't listen to me, then I feel bad. Attention is stuck there. Attention is stuck in my children. Attention is stuck in my friends. If I have an enemy, my friend can't call him for dinner. Right? Attention is stuck in the friends. And then attention is stuck in our thoughts. So, attention is the most precious commodity we have, and that we have wasted everywhere. Nothing is left inside. Nothing is left inside. We came with a big bank balance of attention, wasted it on all kinds of things. And there's no attention inside. And when there's no attention inside, there is no light inside. We are Dhritarashtra. Absence of light. And that is why in the Gita there are 4 characters. The lowest is Dhritarashtra. Next is Sanjay, the beginning of light. Then is Arjuna. Light has now started taking a different path. And then is Krishna, the source of the light. These are absence of light, beginning of light, the movement of light, and the source of light. There are 4 characters. In the whole Gita there are no more characters, just these 4 characters. Right? So this attention is male and female. Minute Dvaita comes in, the law of 2. You know the law of 2. When God made this world, the first law He made, male and female, positive, negative, law of 2. Law of 2. What does this law of 2 say? What does the law of 2 say? That everything comes in pairs. Noah's Ark, everything comes in pairs. You can't have one, everything in pairs. Right? And I go to the temple, I say, God, I want lots of happiness. Lots of happiness. I have one house, but I want 5 more. And this car is okay, but a Rolls Royce will do. Right? And this, that, and I feel if I get all this, there will be lots of happiness. And God says, but you see, when I made this law, I cannot give 1. I can only give 2. So with happiness, you have to take suffering also. With happiness, you've got to take suffering. 1 I cannot give. I don't know how to give. The law is that if you buy apple juice, you have to take orange juice free. 1 we cannot give. And all of us go to the temple and we ask Him all the time. We don't know what we are asking for, because we are asking for happiness, and what are we getting? Suffering. If our eyes were a little open, there will be no lines in the temple. You go to an Indian temple, it takes 4 hours to get inside. And all of them are asking. And they don't know what they are going to get. Because this is the law, and he can't change the law for anyone. You cannot change the law for anyone. This is the law. Right? The only way the law can change is if attention goes inside. And for that, attention has to be total. The male learns how to make his attention one-pointed from the woman learns how to make her attention diffused from the male, and they exchange with each other. They exchange with each other. And at that time there is an inner marriage. Everything is with attention. So we observe the wife. What is she doing? And slowly we learn to enjoy those small things. We may not learn how to cut the food, doesn't matter. But we can arrange our dish on the table. We can pick up our glass with gentleness. Some people pick it up with gentleness. So there's a male way of picking up and a female way of picking up. You're walking on the road, there's a male way of walking and there's a female way of walking. In everything in life, if these small things, then slowly the male learns how to bring his attention together, which was attracted to so many things in life, the cricket match, the club, the newspaper. Suddenly it's come together, and the female knows how to diffuse her attention. How does she diffuse her attention? Her attention is focused on the male. It is focused on the male. The male must learn to focus his attention, not the female. When the male focuses his attention on the female suddenly grows inside. Her beauty changes, the face changes, the smile changes. But she knows that his attention is everywhere else, except on her. Now she should learn to take interest in the things that he is taking interest in. It's very difficult. Very difficult. And then if she says that, okay, Tendulkar did this, but he should have done this, and suddenly he looks like this. And he throws his attention onto her, and she grows. And when she grows, the male feels happy, and he suddenly realizes that his attention should be one-pointed. And they exchange each other's secrets. She knows the secret of childbirth. He knows the secret of death. And they both exchange with each other. So, the whole idea is to get over this aggressiveness. From Bhishma become Bhima. From Bhishma become Bhima. Duryodhana, when he sees the Pandava army and he sees such a big army, till then he was not sure that there's going to be a war, and suddenly he sees this huge army, even though it was only 60% of his army. He had 11 Akshauhis and the Pandavas had 7, but he runs to his guru, Dronacharya, and he says that my army is protected by Bhishma, but that army is protected by Bhima. My army is protected by Bhishma. And he says, my army is big in numbers, but it may not be able to do what has to be done. That army is small in numbers, but they may be able to fulfill what they have come for. And it is this inner attention, this inner aggressiveness. He realizes that Bhishma, the inner aggressiveness, has now decided that it wants to die. And this is the beginning of spirituality. When our inner ego says that now I want to die. I want to die. My ichha mrityu. And for that, it makes another ego. And this ego is called Arjuna. And that ego decides how to kill the ego. how to kill the inner aggressiveness. And it decides everything. We need a new ego. And this ego will decide, okay, I'll get up in the morning, I will do this, I will practice this, I have heard these ideas, now how do I work on these ideas? How do I implement them in life? That the real ego dies. And this new ego which we form is very, very important. It is the ego of detachment. Bhishma is the ego of attachment. So we form two centers within ourselves, detachment and attachment. And slowly the attachment center becomes weak and the detachment center becomes strong. And this is the Pandavas, the detachment center of the Pandavas, the attachment center is the Kauravas. Two centers we form within ourselves. Just now the attachment center is very strong. And we take our attention in, stage by stage. And the only thing which pulls the attention out is aggressiveness. I want this because I've been attracted to this. Aggressiveness. And every time that aggressiveness comes out, we shoot an arrow in it. And the only way is by surrender. And surrender is moment to moment surrender. Don't keep a picture of the Guru in the home and then you put a heart of the picture of the Guru. Right? And then when the wife or husband comes, you start fighting with him. It's not possible. If you keep a picture of the Guru in the home, then every person who comes in the home is the Guru. Every person who comes in the home is the Guru. And you realize that he has come dominating, then I become female. And if he has come passive, you become male. We become male. And in this dance of these two energies, suddenly we feel a new dimension of living. Then there is no problem in life at all. Then there is no situation can bring any form of any sadness or any form of depression. Because every moment in life there is a marriage, there is an inner meeting. We can do that. A lot will change in our lives. Then we will achieve that consciousness which we are looking for, that inner consciousness, that inner Guru which we are looking for, the inner Atma which we are looking for. From where the attention has come, we have taken the string of attention, we are going back to its source, and one day we will reach the source inside. And this is the best way to do it, moment to moment in life, male and female, male and female. Become Arjun and Shikhandi at the same time. We can do that. I brought the story of Shikhandi, but I said that let's just talk about something else. So, any other questions you all have, I'll take them. I just wanted to talk a little bit that these two energies, because most of us are female over here. I also tried to become a little female, to bring out the male in all of you. Tell me, any questions you have? She's trying to go without making a noise, you know. Right? So which energy is that? Female. The life is so beautiful, so beautiful. So death is male energy. So which energy will we go into death with? Surrender into death. We move into death with the deep attitude of love and surrender. The final meeting. In that final meeting, we will not be the same person. Everything will change.
There is no person from
The art of relating. This is what I'm talking about. Relating. See, like a painter makes an artist makes a painting. Right? So, every moment there is a painting. Now supposing we both are relating, what is the first thing I will do? What is the first thing we do normally? Supposing she says that this president is very good. Right? It's good to have 5, 6 wives, so he's a very good president. What do I immediately do? What do I do immediately? In any conversation, what do I immediately do? I take the opposite stance. So it doesn't remain a conversation, it becomes a fight, a debate. So now in any conversation, what is the first thing we should do? We want to create a painting, beautiful work of art. She says that it's not day, it's night. Now I know it is wrong, but I want to create a work of art. What do I do? I have to move with her. I said, yes, but the night has a beauty. Maybe it's shining a little. So I have to move with her. But in all conversations we have, we always take the opposite stance. Then there can be no artwork. No artwork. However wrong the person is, always try to move with the other person. There was that beautiful novel in 1969, I think, called The Godfather. Right? Godfather has this young lawyer working for him. Godfather is ill, so his son is looking after everything. And then the son tells this lawyer, okay, in a time of emergency, you can't do anything. So you better go away here. So he says that you learned everything from your father, you've not learned how to say no. So when the father wakes up, this young godfather goes to his father and says that, please tell me how to say no. So he says, you say no as if you are saying yes. Say no as if you are saying yes. So always move with the other person. So in any relationship, in any relating, don't say no. First move with the other person. Second thing, what will we do? What is the second thing? What do you say? What is another word? Listen. 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 So to listen, what do we have to do? Pay attention and not allow memory to come in between. Not allow memory to come in between. Right? If you are talking about your son, then I am just waiting for a chance to talk about my son. So then there can be no artwork. There can be no artwork. So I want to take the conversation in a way, to make the painting in a way where there is as little use of memory as possible. So I don't bring in my memory. But we always associate. We don't realize how this thing works. We are a victim of associations. I see this blue bottle and I realize I have a blue pant for which I don't have a blue shirt. And the last time I went to buy a blue shirt, I met this other person who owed me 100 rupees. You see how memory comes into everything. And when we relate to a person, the first thing is we don't take the opposite stance. The second thing, we bypass memory. And this is a great art, to bypass memory. So, the art of relating, the art of making a conversation, make everything in life as if you're an artist. And an artist enjoys throwing his colors. So throw colors on everything, make everything more beautiful. It's the same thing with a disciple. See, the Guru has written certain books and certain things. Now people who know the Guru, they tell the disciple that you are saying so many things which the Guru has not said. The disciple's duty is to enrich the teachings of the Guru. Enrich the teachings. So every moment, that very moment which has come to meet us, we can enrich it. First we take either a male stance or a female stance. Then we don't become aggressive by saying the opposite of what was said. And when we bypass memory, we are free of the past. It is the present moment, fresh, virgin, full of energy. It changes everything. We can bypass memory. But we keep on talking from memory. It's the way to relate. So small conversations can become very beautiful. Very good. It's not who you're talking to, what is he saying, how boring it is. It has nothing to do with that. It is whether you want to make a work of art or not. It could be a waiter in a restaurant, it could be the air hostess, it could be anyone. Then life is a joy because every moment you're creating a new canvas. So, talking about relationship.
On this journey of female, you are a wife and you are a mother and you have roles and responsibilities and important attachment because you want to do the best for your family and you lose yourself on the journey. Important attachment that you want.
Let's change that best. Let's change it to we want to do what is right. We want to do what is right. And when we want to do what is right, it may not be pleasing. It may be bitter also. Right? So a mother takes on different roles. One day we talked on the roles of the mother. When we were talking about Shakuntala, she talks of different roles of the woman. Right? And each role is a different form of expression of energy. Right? So one role is when you are looking after the husband. So that is the role of Patni. The one which nourishes, Palan kare. The one which nourishes. There's another time when you will get pregnant. Right? And you're going to give birth to a child. So that is the role of Janam, giving birth to Jaya, the energy which gives birth, the creative aspect of life. Right? But in that giving birth, so many things within your psychic nature will die. The birth and death go together. Let's start at the physical level. Suddenly you're pregnant. And you say, okay, I love to eat cucumbers. Right? That cucumber is creating a problem for my child, so then you will sacrifice. So one side there is birth, one side there is death. I say, I love to hear you see these violent movies, they're so good. Right? But then what about the impression falling on the child? So you say, okay, I sacrifice that. So one side there is death, other side there is birth. So in that birth, there is a psychic death. Right? So, and that is very, very important. So it's a different energy which is being manifested through the woman. So like that, the woman takes on different roles. And all these roles are manifestations of different energies. She tries to please her husband. She tries to please her husband. She tries to tell him right from wrong. And there is a knack of telling him. Because if she says it in the wrong way, he is not going to, the male ego will come in the way. And then we have this beautiful way, I told you not to do this. So pehle dikhe thi. the end of the matter. And then we become male. We become male. So there must be a knack. So each role which the woman plays is an expression of a different energy. It is the movement of the psyche, and all that we should feel and observe within ourselves. And, oh, till yesterday this energy was not there, but now the child is growing in my womb. Suddenly a new energy has come. How is it moving? Now, what role does it have with the husband? So you have to interest him into the mystery of giving birth. Otherwise he'll think his role is over, like the bees, the drone, he just fertilizes the queen and gone. Right? So you have to, but that is at the level of the animals. Now we are talking about the level of humans. So you have to make him interested in the mystery of giving birth. And in that, he learns what giving birth means. You get it? There is an exchange. There is an exchange. So all that has to be done. Right? So you can tell him that, okay, I'm sitting over here for half an hour. You please put your hand on my stomach and you recite the Gayatri mantra. See, sense the vibrations going through your hand into my stomach. So now you're making him interested in the birth of the child. Birth of the child. Right? So all these roles a woman has to play. Otherwise he's not interested. He'll think, okay, now she's pregnant, no problem, go to the club, have a drink and come back. Make him interested. So, yes.
The role that a woman has to play, which we in a day-to-day life call multitasking, but the male, why is it that he cannot play so many roles? Is it because that's the way he is, that's the way he's born, or?
It's because his attention is not centered in himself. His attention is so diverted in so many things in life. And especially when a woman gets pregnant, all her attention is centered in herself. You know, when we were in college, they would say, okay, you want to attract this girl or that girl. So we used to call it the 3 F's. Food, family, philosophy. So how to talk to a girl? First you talk about food. Because she is going to become food for the baby. So instinctively she feels very nice. Then you talk about family. So she is so attached to family because her attention is in the family. So she, if you praise her father, this, that, she feels very nice. And last you talk a little bit of philosophy, so she feels intelligent. So, this is, male ego is different from the female ego. It does not mean that the female ego is not in the male. It is lying in the male, it is hidden. Because we are all attached to our body. The body sort of hypnotizes us. The urges of the body hypnotize us. The hungers of the body hypnotize us. So, we think the body is everything. We cannot recognize another person without the body. So, this attachment to the body creates that male ego or female ego. And it has to change. And it is, the female has to play the role. She has to interest the male into, and she has to plan this much before marriage. Much before marriage. And if it is well planned, it can be done. Then the marriage is really beautiful. Really beautiful.
Is it good to work more with female energy and with the dropping off male and female?
As long as we can remain in female energy, life is very beautiful. See, there's no one in this room, but I just remain in myself, the receptivity of what is happening around, the sounds around. Just to be with myself. Attention not moving anywhere, so there are no thoughts. There's just this flow of life, the beating of the heartbeats, the flow of blood. It gives tremendous joy. So, receptivity, gentleness, these are the keys to joy in life. Surrender, these are the keys. And yeah, all males have to learn it from the female. All males. Right? But life is not just the present moment. I have to plan for tomorrow also. Right? So the planning is needed. So when I go into the planning mode, I'm a male. So again, that is needed. Right? Today, many females are becoming what do you call, heads of companies and things like that. So you can see that the inner male, which was lying dormant, is suddenly expressing itself. And also tonight we are going to talk about the planets. So this is dominated by the cycle of Uranus. And Uranus has an 84-year cycle. And it is divided into two parts of 42 years and 42 years. So, and this happens with all civilizations. 42 years there is female dominance, 42 years there is male in the outward culture of man. And it is because of this cycle of Uranus which dominates the sex cycle in man. So the sex function is dominated by Venus, but the sex cycle is dominated by Uranus. But that we are going to talk about this tonight. Usually when I go to mainly women meetings, most of the questions are on health. Most of the questions are on health. Can we die every moment? Every moment can we die? Can we experience death every moment? And in surrender is the energy of death. In surrender is the energy of death. And our thing is that we've not tasted the beauty of surrender. If 5 people are talking, then I want what I say should be accepted by everyone. But if I can experience the beauty of surrender, I don't want what I say. I just let it dissolve. In that there is death. There is a taste of death. Can I sacrifice? I may have something very important from the office to be done. But my wife says, I'm feeling tired, I can't drive the car, and so you take me to the vegetable market and you wait outside the vegetable market, I'll buy the vegetables and come. Can we surrender? Then there is a taste of death. So, death is not something which happens at the end of life. If we can experience death moment to moment, I may be watching something very interesting on TV. But my daughter comes with something very stupid and says, you tell me this. Can I sacrifice that? I just move. Then in that moment I experience death. So death is something which we can practice every moment. When I go to sleep at night, how do I go to sleep? Which way do I go to sleep? I have my hands, my legs, my head. What do I do when I go to sleep? Suppose I just lie down and I slowly take my energies from this, and I concentrate it at one point, then I come from here, and slowly my hands are dead, my legs are dead, everything is dead. All the energy I focused at one point, and I'm moving to sleep. Right? Now supposing I know now death is coming, the last hour of life, I'm on the verge of death, slowly I start moving the energies. And I practiced every day. So all the energies, before death can make the body dead, I have already made it dead. I said, take it, I'm offering it to and slowly I've taken all the energies and concentrated the energies at just one point. I'm holding that one point. No thought, nothing, just a waiting, just a looking. And the body will fall because I've practiced every day, and there I will still be waiting and watching and looking. Nothing new. How do we go to sleep in the night? How do we wake up in the morning? We don't practice anything. Right? It's nice to talk about death. It's nice to talk about death. But what do we want to do? How much are we willing to invest in our own death? Are we willing to invest? The only thing we can invest is attention. Our time and attention. Because attention is time. If we can invest that death is going to come 10 years from now, 20 years from now, whatever, and that's definitely it's going to come at that moment. What way do I want to move into that death? Can be done. And I think everyone should do it. 10 years ago, it was monsoon. And the river was in great flood. It was in great flood, and we had this thing of jumping into the river, coming out into the sea, and the waves will neutralize the river at one point, and then we come back, go into the river. And at one point where they neutralized it, I couldn't come out. So my brother-in-law tried to catch me, but I knew that if he catches me, he'll be caught with me in the waves. So I took his hand out of my hand and I left it. And there was nothing I could do. I was taken right far out into the sea. The waves were so high because it was monsoon. There was no way to swim, do anything. Now for years, I had practiced. And now the moment had come. And suddenly I started taking energy from all the parts of the body, and I realized that practicing on the bed is one thing and practicing in the middle of the ocean is totally different. So in spite of practicing for years every day, in that moment I suddenly felt that it's so difficult to do it. Because on the bed it's so easy. And we don't know which way death is going to come. And I was very happy that I was able to do it. Slowly I took all the energy from all parts of my body. Everything was dead. I was just waiting for that moment of death to come. Just sitting there waiting for it to come. And I started drowning. What happened I don't know, but just at that point, one voice came from inside that you go back once and just float on the water. I went up again, floated on the water, and I went to sleep in the sea. They say you were asleep for about 25-30 minutes in the water. I went to sleep. And in that sleep there was a semi-consciousness, as if there was some rhythmic movement happening inside. There were no thoughts, nothing. I already thought that I'd gone to the other end and I was observing this from far away. And then when I opened my eyes, all the people from the ashram there made a big chain of people. They were holding a big rope and they were trying to reach out to me. And one wave took me and caught somebody's hand and he pulled me out. So, even after practicing, when the moment comes, we may not be able to do it. But if we can do it, there's nothing more beautiful than death in life. So, start from today. You go to sleep, just lie down on the bed and take your energies from each part of the body and slowly bring them either here or bring them here. If there's a male, he can bring it to where the sex organ touches the body. The point is very, very powerful. Bring it over there, right? And just hold it. You can visualize a black dot. Just hold it, and then wait for sleep to come. And initially, this will be difficult. But if you do it for 3 months continuously, you'll slowly feel that as if you are making your own hand lifeless. And you come to that point where all the energies have concentrated at one point in the body. Then block your breath. Just block your breath. Don't do this initially. First bring the energies, wait 3 months. Then block your breathing. Just stop breathing. At one point the body will have to breathe. And it will automatically go into sleep and start breathing. Don't worry, you won't die. You won't die. Automatically you will go into sleep and start breathing. But in that moment, you will experience death. And if you can do this every day, then whenever that death comes, we are ready for it. It is not death any longer. So try this. You can ask, it's okay. I'm just a friend, so you can ask anything.
This is not a deep question, it's just a daily occurrence. Males don't like to ask for direction. If they drive, they don't like asking for direction. They can get lost for an hour, 2 hours for dinner. What is the reason, or what is the psychology behind it? And a lot of women have experienced.
You're right, absolutely right. Whenever I'm lost, I look to my wife. And no, I'm not joking, but it's phenomenal. She'll remember the road, gully by gully she'll remember where to take the road. I'm always going around in circles. And she'll remember exactly, even if you've gone there once, she'll remember everything, where to take a turn, what to do. Males have this fear inside. Because they have this fear. If you've taught the wife how to drive, then when you're driving, she'll slow down, take the right turn, do this. And they don't know the art of becoming a female. They don't know the art of becoming a female. You learn the art of becoming a female when the wife is saying this with aggressiveness. Okay, break over here. Then nothing happens. You become a female. The vibrations of her male voice, you sense them. And in those vibrations, you just become passive and flow with those vibrations. It's not that somebody has said this. Somebody is just saying something and it is vibrating. And in that vibration, you move into those vibrations. But for that, the male has to be taught. That's why the male has to go to the guru first. The female is already the guru. He has to learn. But they don't like to be told. It's common, male ego. He doesn't like to be told what to do. He'll make a business loss, but he won't listen to his wife. Please sit down, sir. Please sit down.
This is another way of the question. We have a pancham.
We have a pancham.
What power is governed by? Is it a celestial power or what energy does it require?
Pancham Sudi, I understood. What have you said after?
What energy drives this philosophy of pancham? Is it because of celestial power or some other power?
Pancham means Panch Ang. Panch Ang. Right? So in this present moment, to form this present moment, 5 things get together. And that present moment becomes yoga. And those 5 things are so the Chogarya, the difference between the sun and the moon and all that, right? So we'll take only one. What we call as Chogarya. Now what is Chogarya? So the earth is taking in energy from the sun. It takes prana from the sun. And it sends that prana to its laboratory in its core, in its heart. And it rotates it. and it rotates it, and every 1.5 hours it changes the prana it is going to release in the atmosphere. Right? Now, supposing I go to make a business deal, right? So I said, this is the business deal. I have to, but to make the business deal, I need patience. I need patience. Or I may not need patience. That deal may just come for a single moment, and unless I jump upon it, I lose it. Right? Now, I have to decide what is what. So, some of these chogariyas are going to be aggressive in nature, some of them are going to be passive in nature. Which energy do I want at that time? Now, again, this energy of the earth, which is coming out in the atmosphere, if I take through the right nostril, it becomes active. If I take it through the left nostril, it becomes passive. Right? Now, do I want to make active more active, or do I want to make it passive? Do I want to make passive more passive? So all this was given in something called the Pancha. How do you read the present moment? How do you read the present moment? Now everything is a manifestation of the 5 tattvas. So I'm going to open a new factory, but I don't want to open it when the Akash tattva is present. Otherwise, more obstacles may come. So that Panchang tells me at this point in time the Akash tattva will not be present. Of course, there is Panchang is of the macrocosm. There is also something called the microcosm. So also in my breathing at that time I have to see that the Akash tattva is not present. So all this was read in that thing which they call the Panchang. It is the terrestrial forces which are in action. Now, Tithi means the distance between the sun and the moon. Now the sun is a certain kind of energy, the moon is another kind of energy. The earth is another kind of energy. Right? The earth has gravitation, it is pulling something towards it. The moon is a counterbalance. That is why we water the plants more towards the full moon, because the moon is countering the gravitational force of the earth. So if you water the plants more towards the full moon, they rise up more in the plant. So the plant gets more nutrition. Right? So all farmers know this. So combination of the gravitation, combination of the life, and the combination of the counterbalance of the moon, all this is called as Tithi. So we see the Tithi. How much of influence of the moon is there? How much of the influence of the sun is there? How much of the influence of the earth is there? And in doing this activity, which influences do I need? And how do I come to a proper combination? So all this is said in the Panchang. Panchang is just a reading of the terrestrial forces. The prana of the earth, the prana of the sun, the prana of the moon, and the planets. And the planets express themselves through the 5 tattvas. So that is called Panchang.
The auspicious tithis and the inauspicious tithis. A lot of us observe that, but those that don't observe, does it affect them in any way?
See, let's put it in another way. That I want to do this work. Now, I want this work to be done with as little obstacle as possible. So there is one force which is coming from me, which wants to get this done. There is something which is beyond me, which is not in my hands. But that force is there. That force is called as Sattva. Tamas, Rajas, Sattva is called as Sattva. It will depend on that Sattva whether Tamas is more powerful or Rajas is more powerful. If Sattva decides that I am in favor of Rajas, then I will fulfill this very easily. Or if Sattva decides that I am in favor of Tamas, then I'm going to have more obstacles. Right? So, how to bring that sattva in our favor? So, certain moments it is more in our favor, certain moments it is less in our favor. By doing a certain puja, the vibrations invite that sattva. That before I have started the task, if God's will is with my will, then things will be easy. So how do I invite God's will? I do a certain puja. The vibrations of that puja invite that force. Okay, you come and push my force, my own desire is to do this. You help me to achieve that. That does not mean people who don't do this will not have success. Right? But if it is done in the right way, the chances of obstacles are less. Chances of obstacles are less. Then it becomes a blind, this thing. Then we do it. You see, even if we do it mechanically also, it may not have any meaning. So it must also be done in the right way. But there was this science in our thing, that one is my desire, one is his desire. If both desires are together, things move easily. If his desire is against my desire, then things will not move easily. And how to invite his desire, how to make it work for me. So that whole concept was of the karma kant, to invite that. See, 1122. These are the master numbers. So 11 is one octave is over and the new octave is starting. And it is the first movement of the new octave. And that is why Ekadashi has some meaning. Agyaras has some meaning. Now there are two types of Ekadashi. One is when it is going towards full moon, one when it is going towards new moon. Right? So now we have two octaves. One is from 0 to full, one is from full to 0. An ascending octave and a descending octave. Now these octaves, they follow certain laws. And those laws are the laws of acceleration and retardation. Supposing we take the musical scale, so we go do, re, mi, fa, right? Sa, re, ga, ma. So, sa, re, ga, there is acceleration. But between ga and ma, there is a retardation in the movement of vibrations, in the movement of energy. Right? So we'll forget Ekadashi. Ekadashi, we'll keep it on the side. We just take Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So we go Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Right? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So we know on Wednesday there is a retardation. There is a backward movement. So on Wednesday we don't do anything which will require a forward movement. Right? We will not take a flight somewhere. We will not travel anywhere. But if we want to close up something, we want to close up some accounts, then we do it on a Wednesday. We want to get rid of something, we want to cut our nails, then we do it on a Wednesday. We want to cut our hair, then we do it on a Wednesday. Why? Because within the week, the force of the week, on that day there is a retardation. Right? Similarly, this Tithis of Ekadashi, the gravitational force of the moon and the earth and the sun is in a special configuration. And we want to use that for a special purpose. I can give you one general rule. Forget the Indian calendar. Go by the ordinary Gregorian calendar. Any date which is 3, 9, 12, 21 on Tuesday or Thursday is always auspicious. Very general rule I'm giving. What we want to do, we want to decide. I want to buy a new car. So which day do I use? 3, 9, 12, 21 on any Tuesday or Thursday. Preferably Thursday or also Tuesday. But you'll see, it is not Wednesday. Not Wednesday. Because Wednesday, we close up old matters. We don't start new matters. Similarly, the year of 360 days is also an octave. Similarly, from our birthday to our birthday is also an octave. So, in the last 52 days of our birthday, which is, if we divide the year into an octave, right? The last 52 days we don't do anything new. Right? But we can settle any old matters. We want to leave an old house, we can leave an old house. But we go into the new house in the first 52 days. We've divided the year into octaves. We've divided the year into octaves. Yeah. 7 into 52 makes 364. Yeah.
According to the Western calendar.
Western calendar. I'm just giving you according, because when we go into the Indian calendar, so many things come together. Then it becomes very complicated. So I'm just giving you very simple rules if you want to follow in life. You know, okay, somebody tells you, okay, when will you come? So you just see the calendar, you know, okay, Thursday and 3rd, I'm coming. So, stop. Thank you.